you are in the world. Has, it, has anything been happening? Because I must admit, there seems to have been a flurry of activity on YouTube. Do you fancy a trailer breakdown? Is this the 100th? Is this your first? Do you just want another angle? We're certainly going to promise that. So go on then. Let's get into the mood. Trailer breakdown. Do you want to come with me? We can go anywhere in the 2 minutes of the trailer. We will show you all our theories, the mysteries we think we have solved, Easter eggs we've found, little hidden gems. I have a panel of Doctor Who media experts to unravel, break open, dissect all the darkest gems hidden in that trailer. So let's start digging and let's bring on our pals. So hello, and I don't know what to say. Morning, afternoon, John. Hi.
Hi, how you doing? Good afternoon. I'm going with afternoon.
Now, John, I'm going to be cheeky. You obviously have seen the trailer. I know you have because you put this up.
Yeah, how did that happen? was there a trailer?
It obviously shocked you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So there we go. John's obviously seen it and he's got an opinion on it. Hiya, Cinnamon.
I have to push back on your observation about expert. I'm not quite sure about that.
Oh, now you see.
More this,
we're going to have to work on his marketing.
Too much, yeah.
We're going to have to work on your marketing. And we've got Timescales, who's been up for hours. No, sorry, he hasn't. I've misplaced what I was saying then. He's been... Hello, Timescales. Welcome for joining us. Literally just joining. But can't wait for this. Nice, good chat about a trailer, a good old trailer. Now, just before we get there, a few little kind of bits of, house admin. So basically, yes, Sensory exists. It's out there in various places. You can see there, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and you can email us and we do reply. We can be found at 2 times at the moment, Sundays at 7. So tomorrow, for example, if you fancy it, we will be talking about the American impact on Doctor Who, the big debate, and whether it's been Americanized, Disneyfied, or whether this is just part of the process in the media world nowadays. So that's a big debate tomorrow night, as well as all of the latest news that we will be discussing. And of course, we do our Tuesday 4 p.m. review. And this week we are looking at the Power of the Doctor, and we're looking at hints of where the Power of the Doctor might link with the trailer we have just seen. So please do join us at Sundays at 7, Tuesdays at 4. Because we've got plenty to tell you, plenty to talk about, okay? So, it's just, let's have a look. It's trying not to disappear at the moment. Let's have a look. There you go. I'm just trying to get this to kind of work out that it must disappear. It won't go at the moment. It's misbehaving, isn't that good? So, it's just what you want, really, isn't it? So, please subscribe if you still think these shoddy goods are worth it. As you know, my galactic credits from the subscription will get a planetary wormery for the Tractators, because I did feel so sorry for them in Frontiers. We forgot the main game. So please do subscribe if you haven't. There's a few people who actually thought they'd subscribed, had a check and went, oh my God, I hadn't. So please have a check, subscribe, away. Right, let's get on to the trailer. I've promised an awful lot of expertise and thoughts on this. So just before the trailer, we had these, I think we were all hanging onto Twitter, our online kind of social platforms, and we were looking, weren't we? And suddenly we saw just these posters, and I thought, is that it? Is there more? And I did start to worry for a second. And then a few things did start to appear. And we started to see the trailer. So once I just pull that back, right? So lads, timescales. I'm going to give a cliffhanger myself. Everybody who's watching and listening, we're going to look at. I've got loads of theories to talk about and Easter eggs, but timescales. What was your first impression of the trailer? Are you now excited for who? Which bits of it were distinctive to you in the trailer?
Well, I was already excited, but now I'm way more excited. And the quality of the trailer is what impressed me. It almost seems like a film trailer. And I know that people have been saying repeatedly that Disney has put money into Doctor Who, where I think that they just purchased the streaming rights. but this really made me question what other perks came along with the streaming rights and how much influence does Disney actually have over Doctor Who now, aside from just streaming. Now, I did catch the David Tennant hologram in there at one point,
Yeah.
which I think is interesting because I still have this nagging feeling that David Tennant and Catherine Tate are not finished. And I think that they may possibly be back. Um, but overall, the trailer got me excited about it, which of course I was already excited, but it really enhanced that excitement. And there is a lot to see in the trailer.
There is a lot to see, and there's a lot of theories to discuss. So please bear with us, folks. I'm just getting first impressions because we all watched it and went either "what" or went "wow" or whatever. So, John, I mean, I'll give Brandon a second to just kind of get himself acclimatized. But hello, Brandon. But John, your first impressions and what stood out to you?
It was okay. I think I'm at a point now with it where I will wait, I will watch it, and I'll review the series and make my determination at that point, because I think I've been bitten too many times with great trailers and then being disappointing. The positives, I agree with timescales. I think the effects and the production look so much better. It really does stand out for me. Negatives, from looking at it first time, I would say I'm not a big fan of the TARDIS crashing through the unit HQ. The thing I love about the TARDIS, call me an old dinosaur if you want, but you know, it's bigger on the inside, but also it materializes and dematerializes.
Yeah.
So I just want to go back to that. And give me the loving. I didn't like that at all. And the butterfly effect joke, I know it was played for laughs, but I didn't laugh at that.
Do you know what, John?
That's me being grumpy, getting it out of the way.
Nearly everything you've said, John, fits into tomorrow night, doesn't it? Just nearly everything you've said is whether this is an Americanization of Doctor Who, whether this is a Disney effect, or whether it's just how they're right nowadays.
Yeah.
It's going to be so interesting. Please tune in tomorrow night because we've got the same pals on and a few more, and I think it's going to be a right humdinger. So, hello, Brandon. Morning.
Hey. Yeah,
first-
oh, go. I'm sorry. What happened was, it's been an interesting couple days. Had some emergency dental surgery, so let the medicine kick in, and I'll be a lot of fun.
Blimey.
I had my alarm set for 10 a.m., but I guess I was kind of out of it when I was talking to Brennan the other day on Twitter, and I just got the time wrong. I had my alarm set to get up when we were going, but I'm here finally.
You're here to share your love of Doctor Who. Did you still feel a love after the trailer then, Brandon? What stood out?
To be honest, like it was like what I told Brendan yesterday when we were messaging each other. I said, man, this kind of, to me, kind of like you were saying, fits into tomorrow night's thing, but there was a whole lot of razzle dazzle was the way I put it. Like a lot of gaga, a lot of razzle dazzle, a lot of quick boom, boom, boom. Looked like, I think the way I described it to Brendan was like, and it felt like a traitor saying this, American superhero, like action cinema, kind of like the boom, boom, quick cuts, dazzle and all that. And so what I told Brendan when we were talking on Twitter yesterday was like, I think it looks cool. It looks great. It almost looks too good. But it's a kind of thing where it's like, okay, you dazzled me. It does look great. It looks like a few $1,000,000, but I got to wait and see what, like what John said. I want to know what's the story content going to be. So that was kind of like in the back of my mind, just like John saying, like, that's what I'm thinking the whole time. Oh, that's cool. But what are you going to do next? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I am tentatively as I think about it. And my mind wakes up a little more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only showing these pics at the moment because it fits in with one of my first impressions, which was the sense of scale. And a few of you have been mentioning this. But the thing is, I'm a Doctor Who fan, and in a funny sort of way, it just therefore makes it feel so less like Doctor Who. I mean, amazing sets, and I'm excited to see them, don't get me wrong, but I just feel as though I'm not watching Doctor Who.
Yeah, I mean, Brendan, I would say, growing up loving the original run, for me, it was all about the scripts and the stories, and and £20 to make a show on the budget. That's what made it special. And I think, and it's not just Doctor Who. I think it's the same with a lot of these IPs now. You can have unlimited resources and money, but if the scripts aren't right, you're not going to engage people. So I'm really hoping that the scripts are really good, and because we all want it to work, don't we? We all want it to succeed. So let's hope it's a banger of a series.
Well, I'm looking at that, and I'm seeing lots of Hollywood movies from the 90s. It seems to me with that shot. I think we've all said it with the TARDIS. I mean, that's a classic. You pick your space movie for that one.
Yeah.
That it's Stark Tower from Marvel, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so. Yeah, I'm seeing how other things have happened, and I do feel as though almost this program, I'm just going to keep doing this for Sunday night and just discussing.
I almost messaged you, Brendan, and I was like, man, because if they had, because we kept thinking the trailer was going to come earlier and earlier, and I thought, well, if they put it off too late, you'll end up just having to collapse today's subject into Sunday. But I see you got a flavor of that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not saying it's bad, because that's the other thing we'll discuss tomorrow, everybody, is whether actually an American impact is bad on Doctor Who. It might be good. I mean, that's the point. But let's get into it. I've promised theories, hidden secrets, hidden gems, and being classic fans where we really look at some of the issues going on. So can I just share one of my theories, and then obviously we can all have a good go at this if you've got your own. My first theory on what I saw in the trailer was the mysterious figure behind Ruby Sunday. So if I show you the shot first of all, there's Ruby Sunday in the trailer, and there's somebody on the hill behind her. Now, obviously, that's miles away. So let's go a little bit better. I'm linking all the shots together. I'm thinking it's that very old TARDIS. It's the old TARDIS. I've got theories on that. I won't say piles of stuff because I'll let you obviously come in and tell me when I'm going too far. But yes, who's that mysterious figure behind Ruby Sunday when she's near that old TARDIS? Could it be the monk? The meddling monk, on the hill there. We've had the Celestial Toymaker, so is it time for the meddling monk? Now, my alias used to be the Time Muddler, so I'm up for this. There he is, good old Peter Butterworth. Yes, unfortunately, he won't be able to come back. But
I'd love it, but I don't think it is. I think, because isn't there another image where there's the Doctor in a kind of monk's outfit, and I'm wondering if it's him standing in the distance. But I'd love to see the monk back. Like, I'm sure you would as well. It'd be great.
Well, there's the costume you're mentioning. I mean, I don't know whether he's in June now or whether he's or whether he's a grown-up Jawa from the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or is he in disguise because he needs to entrap the monk? I'm going for the monk for a while on this one, but yes, we've got the monk's disguise. Are we going to, because we've had the bi-generation and chaos with regenerations, are we going very Planet of the Spiders with Shoji coming back? That kind of idea. And then I'm going to throw this in and get all your feedback on this.
That was in case I wasn't up yet. Sorry, guys.
I
thought that was a copyright strike.
They're coming for you, Brendan. It's an international crime.
I think I may have said something that's upset somebody. Yeah. Did you see the flashing lamppost? My dog did. No. So,
yeah.
Is that a TARDIS? Is that a TARDIS? I'm just sharing some of these theories now. I mean, this is only my first theory. I've got 6 more. So this one is, who's behind Ruby Sunday? Is it the monk on the hill? Is the monk coming back? This looks like a flashing TARDIS. So is Time Person coming back? Anybody think there's elements that are possible or excitement? Or they're seeing other things here?
I think it. I don't think it's going to be a Time Lord this time. I'd love the monk to turn up again. I just think that it's going to be a being from the dawn of time kind of villain for the series arc, I think. And you know, you've seen Jinx Monsoon in it, and I just think that that's gonna play into it. And I'll jump on in a bit of a couple of things I think, but yeah, I would say that really. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I think it's going to be a being that we've not seen before, but has got that awesome power beyond the universe that they kind of hint at, I think, or they're hinting at. So, we'll see, won't we?
Anybody else got any mad thoughts or theories as fans here on theory 1, the mysterious figure?
Well, I didn't see it at first, and that's actually pretty scary. I don't think it's the meddling monk. I think you want it to be. And I hope for your sake it is. I got my fingers crossed. Probably something that we haven't seen before would be my guess. So a character that we have not seen before. And I don't think it's friendly.
Can I just ask as well, quickly,
go on.
that TARDIS exterior, is that the current TARDIS exterior, or is that a previous incarnation's TARDIS exterior?
Well,
It
he is
looks like a
my
classic version,
Good
doesn't
question.
it?
Good question.
Well, yes, I agree. I mean, I was just watching Planet of Evil yesterday, and it looks very similar to that, except not as blue. But one thing I did think is we seem to be on a big cliff edge. Blah blah blah. Is this from the Geordie to David Tennant regeneration, and that mysterious figure, if not the monk, although there still could be, is coming back to revisit the regeneration, because RTD told us that everything's bi-generated now. So that means Jodie Whittaker is still alive as the Doctor. And so is David Tennant, obviously. So basically, could this be one of the older Doctors? And what I mean is Jodie. I'm saying Jodie Whittaker. I'm calling it out. When there was another trailer earlier, and this figure I kind of enlarged a bit, and I think you were on the show, John, when we said, well, I said, of course, it's always, how dare I share it, because obviously you might disagree. It looked a bit like Leela.
Yeah.
Oh, that would rock.
It would, wouldn't it?
Which is why, sorry, John, I mean, I'll let you come in, but the reason I said that is because of this Susan Twist character. Because she looks a bit, from a distance it was long kind of hair, and I thought, well, Susan Twist is in every blooming episode. She's obviously somebody key and mysterious. It did look like a female figure in the distance, and so I'm still saying the monk, because the monk can obviously be gender fluid nowadays, as you knew. But if it's not the monk, is it Geordie on the hill, or is it that Susan Twist character? What do you think now, lads?
I'm going along the lines of, I think every time since Doctor Who came back, every time I see a trailer and I think, oh, is it that one from the past? It never is. So I'm playing it safe this time and just going, no, it's no one connected to the past. It's a new character.
Cinnamon, you've just come back. Do you have any theories on this mysterious figure on the hill, whether it's the monk, whether it's Jodie Whittaker herself, whether it's Ruby as an old woman?
Well, yeah, I'm back. Keep bouncing all over the place, don't I? But yeah, everyone's quite convinced that it's the 13th Doctor. I can't see why. I don't know where that's come from. I personally don't subscribe to that view. But I'm intrigued to see why people might think that, though. I think like John just said that. I think it'll be either a new character, but then again, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's on a hill. We saw a little bit earlier. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but we saw a little, when the trailer just starts, we see the TARDIS looking fine.
Yeah.
Clean as as usual on the hill, on the mountain, on the cliff. Sorry. And then towards the end of the trailer, we see this one where it is all battered and it's all moss growing all over it. It seems like there's flowers laid there, like as if it's some kind of tombstone. It's really, it's mysterious, and it's, is this mysterious person with the hooded figure related to the Doctor? in some sort of way? Is there a
You see,
connection
Cinnamon,
between there? It's because
what I w-
there's got to be something with this whole TARDIS, you know?
well, I was thinking, why would you revisit the TARDIS when it's an old relic like that, unless you are the owner of it? And therefore, I was thinking by generation. And I was saying last night on Noel's stream, wasn't I? Because you were there, Cinnamon. We were talking about this. And my theory is RTD is a healer. He does want to bring the world together, whether that is too idealistic. He does want to bring Chibnall, Moffat, and everybody on board. And I think when he saw how Jodie Whittaker was treated, I think he would see it as his job to bring the whole Doctor Who world back. And I really do think Jodie Whittaker is going to appear somewhere. I really do. And, you know, I've got other theories on that. Brandon, you're nodding your head. Where do you, I mean, there's two Brandons here. I'm going to have to, there's Cinnamon and there's Brandon.
I was going to be disappointed if young Brandon wasn't here. I was like, I want to hear what, I literally thought, I wonder what Cinnamon thinks about that yesterday when I saw that. So I'm glad he's here. I get what you're saying. I had that same thought about is that cliff or whatever where
insane strong.
Yeah, exactly. Stay strong, Brandon. I kind of agree with you. Like it looks kind of like that cliff that Jodie regenerated on, but it just kind of like the shock horror, or maybe not. I'm open, man. Dazzle me, wow me, fine. But like I'm sitting here thinking, man, they can go and meet any doctor that's still living now. You think about that, like, and I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think that's a good thing. I mean, you know, we love seeing those old faces like Sylvester McCoy, Colin Baker, and stuff like that. But think about it. They just figured out a way that they could guess them, just like you're saying. Jodie can show up, Colin can show up, anybody can show up, Paul McGann, all of them. So now there's so many different possibilities. God knows what it is. You know what I mean? Because like this week's adventure, we could bump into Jodie. 3 episodes down the road, we could bump into Sylvester McCoy. You know, it's kind of odd. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, why don't I'll add to this then and see where we go, and then throw in your kind of theories as we go. I still think that is some version of a TARDIS, everybody. Hence why I was saying, is it the monk or somebody? Because this whole trailer, wasn't this whole trailer about changing time, etc.? And who likes to mess with time? Now, you could list quite a few villains in Doctor Who, I know, but the time meddler is certainly one of them. And we seem to be, there was some RTD had said something recently about harking back to the 60s, didn't he? You know, decades ago, something that started decades ago. Okay, well, I'll go here then. Try me on this one then. This is the script from Wild Blue Yonder, which I was only just reviewing the other day. So please have a look at that. In the script, he says, it's funny because I wonder where the TARDIS goes at random. Maybe it lands on some outcrop by the sea and there's a tribe and they worship it for 100 years. Then they grow up and try to burn it. Then they get wise and preserve it. Then they build a city all around it till the TARDIS is just a tiny little dot surrounded by skyscrapers and monorails. Then time passes and the city falls. It all gets swept away. And there's the TARDIS still on its outcrop by the sea. She's the only thing I've got left. You know that RTD, he puts these little seeds in all his stories. You know he does. So that salt thing, as you know, in Wild Blue Yonder, has led to probably what we're going to see in the trailer and the new season. Do you think this might be having more impact than we realized at the time, folks? Especially when we see that TARDIS looking old on its own.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we see it a lot, don't we, in Doctor Who? You know, one throwaway liners that you wouldn't think twice about, you know, that come back. You know, I always cite Midnight as a good example for this. You know, when the Doctor says Alonzi to the hostess,
yeah,
that simple throwaway line that we know that he says all the time, ended up saving his life at the end of it, and you think, oh yeah, that, you know, small, inconsequential, you know, throwaway little piece of dialogue, you know, it would come back to, you know, because what that sounds like there, what he's talking about, he's pretty much describing what that TARDIS is. It's by the cliffs. It's there for a long time. It's all old and decrepit.
And you do.
I was just thinking there while you were talking. I think it might be. Do you think it could be related to Anita Dobson's character because she seems to be familiar with TARDISes? Maybe she's seen this before. Maybe it's something. Maybe she's the hooded woman. You know, maybe like she's kind of stalking Ruby. Again, anything's kind of possible at the minute.
Because we tricked in the trailer, I think, because Mrs. Flood, who you mentioned, she sees the TARDIS dematerialize and she drops her shopping. Now, if you see that, you think, oh, she's never seen the TARDIS before. She's in shock. Except we saw what she said at the end of the church on Ruby Road, and actually she could drop her shopping because she hasn't seen a TARDIS for so long, and then it triggers
exactly.
her,
That's how I read it.
which is why some people think that actually Mrs. Flood is somehow linked to Ruby, and that sort of thing. Timescales, you're looking very pensive.
Yeah, you're making me think. What was it she said when she dropped her groceries?
No, she didn't say anything. She was in the distance, and the TARDIS kind of dematerializes, and you see her behind it.
Okay, and she didn't say anything. Does it only
No.
show her once in the trailer?
I think so, yes. And the
think
only other
so.
time is when we all talk about when she says, "Haven't you seen the TARDIS before?" At the end of Church on Ruby Road.
Right. Well, I was under the impression in this trailer that she actually said something, which was a little bit contradictory to what she had said in Church on Ruby Road. I would have to go back and check that again. I think she did say something.
I don't even was she even in the trailer at all? I don't think she was she?
You
So
see
she
her
was-
drop her shopping. That's
See
all
a
I.
drop of shopping in the UK version. I mean, timescales. I mean, is there a Disney one out? Because potentially, if there's a Disney one, you might have extra footage that we haven't got here in the UK.
That may be a
Ours
possibility.
is-
Yeah.
In the
well,
trailer,
ours
they did
is
show some
2
shots
minutes and
of- in the
5
trailer, they
seconds,
did show some
and
shots of
Yeah.
previous
it was
story.
on YouTube. It dropped on Disney Plus on YouTube about an hour and 15 minutes before the one came out on the BBC Twitter.
Okay, so it could be
So-
possible then that you're right, that there is some comments from her in that trailer as well. Then, so I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too, man. You got
Yeah.
all y'all got me thinking. Then I was like,
Yeah,
why,
I know.
why am I
Right.
Why am
You
I
know-
not smart like English people and notice things? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
I was going to bring this up quickly because I've made a note of this. Right. Okay. My fan theories going to the extreme and going 100 mile an hour. That is not the 14th Doctor. That's the 10th Doctor image. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. I'll
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah, you
Hold
go
on.
Oh
back to it.
God, because he's out there too.
Yeah, so that's the 10th Doctor image. But when it also says, the Doctor says, I think it's 1:29 in the UK trailer, 1 minute 29. He says the whole world could slide into the pit.
Yes.
So I'm wondering whether he's linking back to the 10th Doctor Satan pit story.
They could, John. They could. That's what I'm saying. They could link
Yeah.
to a million things and screw with, especially if time's being screwed
Yeah.
with.
So I've just got because when you look in the background, it kind of looks like images from that kind of base from that episode. That's what got me thinking about it. But yeah, I found it was interesting. It was the 10th Doctor image, and we've had comments about the pit. So yeah.
Yes. That I'm trying to find it. I do have a shot of the pit moment. I'll find it eventually. But regarding the 10th Doctor image, is this the classic almost gaslighting? They're taking us down a different venture. Because what I'm thinking is everybody got excited going, oh, David Tennant as a hologram. And then, of course, the BBC source explained this. Ncuti Gatwa to be accompanied by David Tennant's holographic head for a not insignificant part of season 1. He's still here, said a spokesperson. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's trying to tell us. The picture, by the way, one fan found is from the Next Doctor. So when David Tennant was in the Next Doctor Christmas episode, that's where the shot's from. Now, they've picked a hologram of an old David Tennant moment. Is that to kind of trick us that, oh, he's back in? This could open up other doctors being in as guides because let's face it, why would he show a Colin Baker Doctor here? That would cause ramifications and earthquakes in Doctor Who world.
Could be, and just from what I just said there, sorry, Guy, I'll just say this. Obviously, Ncuti's in the outfit that he's in, where they're talking about that, that series that I've never watched, but Bridgerton. Sorry, so the last 10th Doctor story that was similar to that was the girl in the fireplace.
That's what I'm thinking too, John.
Yeah.
He might be on the SS Marie Antoinette, right?
Exactly. So there might be, maybe he's going to have a tease of Clockwork robots
Yeah.
and in it. You don't know, do you? So
It also looks, and I can't get the shot up now, but I'll get it up later, where there seems to be something analysing the TARDIS, and you've got this green light. It's a grid system, and there's a grid system on shooting Doctor here, and it could be the same scene, of course, where it's analysing, are you the Doctor? Do you know, because it's Regency?
Yeah.
Who else is in that episode? It's Jonathan Groff. As some people, the theory is he the new Captain Jack? And so therefore, is he just assessing, is this Doctor Who? And so he's got some equipment and he's just running the kind of MOT, the DNA sample, and that sort of thing. So yes, I know. I'm fine. I think we're being tricked by the hologram. I think the hologram might be telling us something else completely if you saw them all there, or
Brendan,
something like that.
Can I
I think maybe another point might be that with them being scanned, we've seen the Doctor being scanned before. Like, we've seen numerous episodes. Like, what was it? The Cyberman one it was in series 7, Nightmare Silver, something like that, where they're all got to like an abandoned theme park. He gets scanned there, or when the 11th Doctor's kind of fighting his own subconscious, you see like little flashes of all the other Doctors there on screen.
Yeah,
you see it again in Earthshock. You see flashes of the other Doctors. So maybe if this is, and that's a really good point you made there, John. That's actually really good about the whole, the ship, the Marianne, or whatever it was, SS Madame de Pompadour ship. If it is, because it is Regency, it's all very, posh parties. If it was to scan him and then like, oh, hang on, you match this person, and then like a picture of Tennant comes up, that would make sense. Whether they go in that direction, because it seems like there's like bird people or aliens. But yeah, that's something that bears thinking about.
Now, I just want to bring in, if you don't mind, John, for a second, I'll just bring in Rachel, because hiya, Rachel, she'll be joining us. She joins us on Sundays, not this Sunday, but she will be joining us. And Brandon knows her pretty well from elsewhere. You might as well advertise it now, Brandon. It seems a good moment when you.
Yeah. She's Rachel hangs out with us on the Culture Council a lot. We're going to be live today at 4:00 Eastern American time. If you want to catch us, we're going to be talking about reviewing the first 2 episodes of X-Men 97 after we meet up and watch them.
Right. And Rachel, as you can see, has her own channel as well, and she's got it there. Chat about it, don't shout about it.
Don't shout about it. She's a much better YouTuber than me. She makes a lot of good, I do mostly live streams. She does a lot of good short videos. But yeah, check her out.
So, as she's been saying, she's coming up with loads of things, and I just wanted to address them. Would Jodie really come back this soon? I mean, yeah.
Good question.
If it's RTD, mostly actors do say yes, so that's the thing. And then she says, as much as I didn't like Wild Blue Yonder, I believe out of the 3 stories, it's probably the one that has the most connection to the series. And I have to say, when we reviewed it the other day, I did see it as a bit of a dull episode. However, I think there were lots of seeds in that episode. That's why it was written. Because I think a lot of us, we might have thought it was a safe Doctor Who story, and we called it good overall in the end. But actually, why was it written? Because it didn't feel special. And of course, it was written to sow all these seeds. And I think, Rachel, you're probably spot on there. But she also...
I think another thing, I think we're going into a more sort of, when they're saying about fantasy, I think we are going into a more, supernatural, superstitious, more godlike kind of, we're delving into more of that kind of, like, that kind of realm. And I kind of like that. It's kind of creepy in a way. Like we keep gods and monsters and stuff. And I remember it's probably nothing. It's probably just shooty to say what he would have liked. But when they did a quick little Q&A with him, he did say like, "Oh, if there was one villain you could face off with," he did actually say the demon, the devil from the Satan pit. Which I thought was great. It just seems like we're going into a more sort of, again, supernatural, creepy, kind of like godlike. I think Jinx Monsoon is talked up as a godlike character, and you see in the trailer Millie kind of suspended in musical notes. It's all like that doesn't seem very sci-fi.
Does this creep you out?
Magic kind of thing.
Does this creep you out?
Oh, Brian Blessed.
I mean, hello, IMDb. This was fun.
Brian Blessed is Brigadier Lieutenant Stewart. The guy with the chap there, 5 rounds rapid.
Oh my God. What in the world? What is this?
So this was from IMDb, and it does say, as you can see, Brian Blessed as Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart. So I just wanted to put this up, Cinnamon, because you were talking about the fantasy element, and I do think this trailer is hinting at alternative timelines.
Yeah.
I'm no genius. We've had the Mavity thing from Wild Blue Yonder. Again, that episode set something up. There's a reason for it. If this were now, you see, fans, I think, would kick off if somebody replaced Nicholas Courtney. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd be pissed.
That would. I mean, you talk about Davros Gate. I mean, the Brigadier. I mean, you can't replace that.
No.
That is criminal. I mean, there's talk about replacing. You know, everyone said, "Oh, could we bring back the Valiant?" And people are like, "Well, I don't know. It's not quite the same as the Master. You can't really. Could you really recast him?"
But you can.
But, you know, if they do go in a different timeline.
If it's a different timeline, then you're not doing a discourtesy to Nicholas Courtney.
Yeah, if it's the Time Lord, I don't care. But Lethbridge Stewart, no way. Especially not after I just watched all of. I'm finally complete. I've watched all the classic series now. Finished off Third Doctor last night, and man, I mean, I love Brian Blessed. Don't get me wrong; he's hilarious. What was he, Urcanos or something in? For the Sixth Doctor, right? So he's been on the show before.
Yeah,
but I like him. I mean, he's just a larger than life person in real life. When you see them talk to him, he just sounds like a total like fun nut.
Yeah.
But I love Bonnie. I mean, I'm glad. I like to see them sprinkle more of the classic series in here. But we're in a situation that could go two ways. It's like I could go, guys, this is wild. Anything could happen. Or it could be like when I tell my kids, if you upset me, anything could happen. You know what I mean? So like, we don't know. It could go good or bad, but there sure are a lot of possibilities.
And I was going to say as well, 10, 15 minutes ago, I said to you that I'm not going to, get my hopes up and think about or speculate on past characters coming back, because I've done that every time over the years and I've always been wrong. 10, 15 minutes later, here I am speculating on past characters coming back. So I'm hooked.
It's a hard habit to break.
It is, because we're fans. I mean, and by the way, I just wanted to show you the first 4 stories of the season and their titles and synopsis.
Oh, where'd you get this from?
So, The Call of the Universe,
Sources.
Ruby Sunday's first trip to the TARDIS brings her to a space station. Now, we've got that shot later on. I did show it earlier. The Devil's Chord, Ruby meets her idols when the TARDIS lands in 60s Liverpool, but a deadly threat's waiting. Copycat, sorry, that's, I've only get, they're not the first 4 you can see. It's number 5 and number 6. I've misplaced the others. Gwillim's Reign of Terror truly begins and unit is compromised. Copycat. And then episode 6, it seems to say there, Notice Neptune, a relaxing trip to the Regency era turns out to be nothing of the sort. Beware the Duchess. A few things we've heard before, maybe a few new ones, but I thought I wanted to show you them before we moved on to other theories and other thoughts we've got. John, it's doing that trick again, isn't it? Good. So basically, do you want another theory, lads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring on a theory. So I've had the bi-generation, I've had the mysterious figure, I've shown you the script. Right, I've mentioned it and everybody talks about it. So let me get myself set up here and say, what about... Here we go. What about... Come on, it's time after watching the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Who is this woman? Who is this person? Now, in my thumbnail advertising this program, I have said I think it's Jodie Whittaker.
I think it's Ruby.
So if you look on the left there, I've lightened the picture, and you're saying it's Ruby dropping off herself.
Yeah. I think
which is timey-wimey. That's what happens. Yeah.
I think that's gonna be one of the finale points. I think, it'll be, and I agree with you, Brendan. It's a multiversal sort of thing, because there's a shot, I think.
Oh man.
There's a shot. I think about it's about 1 minute 43 seconds where they're showing different facial images of Ruby, like glasses on and whatnot, and it makes me think, it's jumping between multiverses. So I do think it's going to be a multiverse season. So yeah.
So
which would be a really big shame as well, because I'm so sick of multiverse.
And I love multiverses.
Every video game,
I love comics.
TV show.
It's like, I agree with
every comic book.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with Cinnamon. Like I'm a huge comic book fan. I love DC's, especially the old stories like Earth 1, Earth 2, stuff like that. I love it. I love the concept of the multiverse, but I'm sick to death of it. You know what I mean? I love Coca-Cola, but I can't drink it with every meal. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, and I thought this was Jodie too,
but that screenshot there when you put up that one of Brian Blessed there, it kind of like, well, yeah, if he is kind of playing him in a different,
So it could be like some Inferno
universe.
vibes. Then maybe they go to some alternate universe.
Yeah.
So, well, let's go down the panel before I move on to another theory. So, timescales. Come on, then. I'm going to make you bet. Who is this character?
It's not Jodie's doctor. Yeah, I'm totally sure of that this is not Jodie's doctor. I'm still in shock that the Brigadier is back. I've actually learned more on this show already this morning than what I did from the trailer. And we're not even done.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah,
Let's hope it's not a trick IMDb, I tell you. But yeah, it did say it.
Well, it makes me wonder why there hasn't been more talk of that, because I haven't seen any discussions of the Brigadier being back at all, and that's making me wonder how long that's been on IMDb, and if it's for real or if it's a prank, because I think IMDb, I believe, is crowdsourced. So and I have seen things on there that were absolutely wrong. I have seen people pull pranks on IMDb. And not in Doctor Who, but in other things. But as far as who this is, I can't say at all. The face is intentionally blurry to keep us wondering.
Yeah. Where would you go, John, on it?
I think it's Ruby, and I think when you see the first image, it looks like the same boots that Ruby's wearing. Okay. So I think it's going to be something like, to set the universe right, she has to do this and leave her younger baby self. You know, I wonder if it right, John. Let me get myself right. As I move on to the next theory, which links with this one, they all kind of link up because it's a trailer for one series. There you go. So it should all link up.
Well, before you move on, Brendan, what is she carrying?
The baby.
Okay.
The baby for the church on Ruby Road that ended up being Ruby Sunday. Oh,
okay.
Which kind of started Shooty's era off. And you know what RTD's doing here? He's sowing a seed that basically makes all his era or something. Now, while we're thinking about this character, which came up obviously again, because this is one of the big mysteries, isn't it? Rachel's telling us actors can also own their own IMDb. I am just putting out the theory there. I saw it. If it's wrong, I just think my job on the Sense Free is to just show you some of the theories and have fun with it. But it may not be true. It may be true. We don't know. Okay. This is where we're going down the fantasy road. Now, I remember when RTD discussed this on Unleashed, he said he told the graphics designers, whatever they are, the animators, to actually put more sparks on the TARDIS hitting the time vortex. And he said he had an idea, and I feel as though it's like the TARDIS is traveling in a place it doesn't normally travel, so there's sparks and friction. I think that was my guess. And so, of course, you mentioned, John, earlier, the landing, which I did. I loved it, but I hated it as a TARDIS. It reminded me of a shuttle in Star Trek landing and going back into birth. It seemed to me, and of course, I'll say it one more time. How many times? We should have had a bet about this. That because they're trying to sell Doctor Who to the American market and people who may not know Doctor Who, they're trying to make the TARDIS more of a spaceship or a shuttle than they are something that materializes and dematerializes. And I think that's going to be something that's going to rub me up a wrong way. Never mind sparks like that.
Yeah.
There's that element.
It stops the TARDIS being special, doesn't it? I mean, when you start doing that, it becomes just another generic sci-fi ship. You know, materialize and dematerialize is just it's a fantastic thing, isn't it? And I just want it going back to that. You know,
I know.
I'm my flag in the ground.
I know.
Scales might agree with me. Oh, I'm sorry, Brent. Scales might agree with me on this one. Since we're both already fans and we're both Americans, I don't need it Americanized. I like it as it is. That was part of the whole appeal. I've got enough American stuff over here. Guys, I am saving up so much profanity for my show's going to have 3 times the profanity for the things I'm not saying on Brendan's show today. Because
I'm definitely going to tune in now.
Y'all are blowing my mind. This is stuff I never thought about, but
Well,
Right.
get this. It's my understanding that British call boxes or police boxes are made out of wood. Okay, and I'm a little surprised to see a wooden TARDIS throwing that many sparks.
Yeah,
It's a morphic shell.
yeah. I mean, it really is. And what suddenly we've got explosions. It breathes fire in Wild Blue Yonder like a Game of Thrones dragon. It's like, what the heck is going on with the TARDIS? Honestly, it's a death trap. Would you invite a 19-year-old girl in it? Because I think it's dangerous. As I saw somebody on another stream, I mean, you drop coffee in it and it's a health hazard, dear mate. It should be condemned. Get that alarm
the
going
cloister
again.
bell should have gone off when the coffee spilled.
Yeah, for sure. It should have went off when Donna stepped foot in the thing.
Well, yeah, she suddenly takes a sip and thinks, hang on, it's decaf. So the cloister bell starts going.
The truth is, the next companion that the Doctor should travel with is a fireman.
There you go.
That's the truth of it. Right, okay. You can see I flash this up, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to escape that I was a former English teacher, but I know this book very, very well. And it is so...
Heck yeah.
It is so blooming clear that we're going down this road again. If anyone doesn't know about it, it's been made into a movie as well.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the most, it's like they teach it. I learned about it in school in America. Yeah. We did it in English class.
Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, I'll go really fast. If you haven't come across it, it's a good story. It's a time safari, and rich people, a bit like instead of going to the African continent to kill a rhino or do something terrible like that, and trophy killing type thing, they go back in time and they land. But that pathway is key. You have to stay on the pathway. If you step off it, you might damage or cause consequences. The ripple effect, the butterfly effect, and so basically, there you have it. And you know why I'm saying this. Because we go back to the dinosaur period. One of the safari hunters steps off the path and changes time. And when they go back to the modern day, everything, including the language, has changed. So it's a good book. And of course, I think Moffat has been obsessed with it. RTD has. Here's a quote from way back. In those films, you step on a butterfly, you change the future of the human race, says Martha. Why way back?
It's foundational science fiction in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's pillar of science fiction.
Yeah.
It's mentioned, cliches, isn't it?
Yes. So it's mentioned again here. And of course, we actually go there. And so great shot. Looks exciting. I didn't think I'd see that many dinosaurs together. So we're doing Doctor Who meets Jurassic Park suddenly. And then we get the actual moment. What if I change history by stepping on a butterfly?
Notice the boots.
Yes,
and
that's
boom.
true, John. There it is. Somebody said that's all from 55.
More convincing.
Yeah, and so time has changed.
My mouth hurts to laugh.
And I'm going to shut my face in a minute and let all the lads come in. But one thing to do with all that sound of thunder and all the rest of it is later on in the trailer, Ruby Sunday actually says, "Now I know why I exist. I have to save the world." Well, too blooming right. If you stood on the butterfly and changed the whole timelines for the world, yes, your job is to save the world.
You feel a little bit guilty, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But so you've got the Doctor as well in the trailer saying changing time is what we do. Well, the Doctor has never really changed time. The Doctor has been involved in time, and he's had fixed points in time that he talks about. And now you see that clip, and I'm wondering, if you're right, Brendan, it's a ripple effect, and the Doctor's mission now is to change time or change it back to how it was. So that's going to be the arc of the series.
And then it would fit. We've got a custodian of Doctor Who understands Doctor Who it sounds as though with Mavity and everything, he's doing everything that Doctor Who shouldn't. But it's given him a writer's indulgence to spend a series or two doing all the things you can't do in Doctor Who normally because she stood on a butterfly. It's a good trick, actually, RTD, to do that because he knows what Doctor Who can't do. And now he's going to allow himself to do it for a couple of series so he can have fun. And I think that's allowed. That's fine.
That's okay if you can explain it story-wise. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
right.
How that English fella is going to show our flag again. Take a drink.
So I think I mentioned in one of the thumbnails that I can start to see the narrative arc here. That basically this is key to everything. And part of the series is really having to really try and sort out all the ramifications. Because this could take you seasons. Because one thing she did, she caused chaos. And they have to go to that planet, this bit. You know what? He could have.
Maybe this is what the line was about, whole spanning decades as well. Maybe maybe we took that a little bit too literally and thought, oh, maybe they're going to go back to something classic Who. Maybe they meant this, something that happened in Earth's history or in the history of the universe or something, spanning decades to this very moment. Although you probably think, well, decades, probably think centuries at this point if it's this far back. But possibly something like that.
It was also a controversial thing, but it also gives him the license to explain why Davros has changed.
True that. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah. And that's allowed as well. I have to say, I know where
so,
I stand.
Man.
I know where I stand on Davros, but actually, if you're going to do this, he's kind of clickbaiting us, but in the end, he'll say, there's Davros back. I don't know. I mean, I would love him doing that. I'm happy with that. If he was going to play with us for a couple of seasons and then go, and there's Davros on the wheelchair back.
Yeah,
but in fairness, at the same time, it also doesn't excuse it because because then you could go too mad with it and say, "Oh well, I'll just change anything," and it doesn't matter if you don't like it or not because, well, we'll just say it's a different universe. It still doesn't excuse that it's a bad.
He makes a good point too.
Changing Davros is, well, we need to just shut up about it. Stop mourning.
Yeah,
get on board because it's just another universe. It's it can be. I can imagine that being trotted out as well as a line.
Well,
to
is
defend
it? What Jamie said there, is it a storyline reason? Is that why Ruby's off the show because she disappears for a while and they have to bring in that other lady? Or is it more of a real world reason they, sacked her or whatever you guys say?
She was sacked because she stood on a butterfly and screwed up all his script writing. He had to change all his plots immediately. That's why. No. I think she's going to die. I'm going to say it now. I think she's going to die.
Or she becomes a villain.
Oh, that would be cool too.
That
would be all right.
Why the flowers are there at the TARDIS, maybe.
Exactly, and you also see, I made a note of it. You see Ruby holding Jinx Monsoon's musical notes up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is she becoming the same character, or was she the same character all along? My speculation's gone right off the map now, isn't it?
Well, no, this
Dang,
is good.
man, my brain's popping off. I don't know if it's the drugs the dentist gave me or what, but my brain is thinking like crazy stuff, man. That's wild, man.
So because of what she's done, which I can only guess is early dawn.
Right, don't take psychedelic.
Yeah, for sure not. No.
So here we go. We've got everything is possible. And it would be if everything's been changed. Everything is possible when you can change time. By the way, in that Regency outfit, that wave he's doing is how the Doctor normally waves to Captain Jack.
Yeah.
So
he's waving at
is that
up in the sky?
Yeah, you guys can correct me if you disagree, and I'm perfectly fine with being corrected. But my kind of overall kind of short, like quick view of the Doctor is someone who's not necessarily out to change time, who wouldn't necessarily be pro changing time, because he's like you guys were saying earlier, in the past he's always talked about how a lot of events are fixed and you can't screw with it, and you shouldn't. He's always said how you shouldn't. So I mean, there must be some sort of, it's either one of two things: either it's cruddy writing, or that, like what you guys are saying, they've come up with some sort of story explanation to kind of backdoor explain all that.
You see,
sometimes it's always accidental as well, isn't it? Like, is it the visitation? The Doctor realizing that he was the one that caused the fire.
Yeah.
You
see, you've got the Ninth Doctor as well. Sorry, Brandon. At the end of the world, and he says, looks over the Earth with Rose, and he says, "I'm not saving it. Time's up." So culture's right on that. Yeah.
What about? I do think RTD wants to be the great healer, which is an unfortunate comparison to Davros, but there you go. I think he wants to heal everything, and this gives him the chance to do it. Let me just say this. If she stood on a butterfly that changed everything in the universe, then he might be able to heal Flux because she caused Flux. Sorry.
You had to bring up the flux.
I think
Why don't you go ahead and flash my flag again?
All he has to do is mention flux, and it's dead silent.
Yeah.
and I think he is gonna use this to essentially fix it, because again, in that 60th episode, the 14th Doctor mentions the flux, doesn't he? So it hasn't been repaired. Half
Nope.
the universe is still gone. So I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of it, it's
And as Rachel said,
restored.
And as Rachel said, it's that Wild Blue Yonder episode where Flux is referred to, and he felt guilty about it. Now, if I show you this, you've got your Armageddon shot of London. It's amazing how Big Ben always seems to manage to stand up. But this took me to this scene. And we're doing a Pyramids of Mars moment, aren't we? When the Doctor says, she stands on the butterfly and goes, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, no. You've really ballsed up this time, baby. I don't know if he talked like that. That's, but
No, I hope not.
I don't remember that.
No, but you are right though. I think because if this is the second episode as well, if this is the Devil's Cause,
Yes.
and this is a 60 episode, and so it probably will be. This is still Ruby and the Doctor are still new. Like we always have this moment, don't we, with companions where the companion will think, well, can't we just go back in time and stop it from happening? And the Doctor has to have that, just like how the Doctor always has a defining moment. I think the companion has a defining moment too, when the companion finally learns, so this is how time travel works. This is what the ramifications are. It's not just as simple as popping back and undoing it again. This is probably that scene of him explaining, why we can't, why we have to stop this person, why we can't like leave and go, it's not our problem. Well, it is, because if we don't, then this is what will happen.
Yeah, totally.
So you can see we're linking with lots of episodes here, but it could explain why the Regency period's gone all weird. Now, here's another theory. Go on.
Yeah.
You do it, John. Go on.
I was just going to say what you were going back to several minutes ago, where I was talking about the girl in the fireplace and the 10th Doctor's image.
Yes.
Is that on the TARDIS a similar to the images that are on the Doctor's outfit? I might be wrong, but you've got the lines on the Doctor on that spaceship with the 10th Doctor's hologram.
I'm going to have to go back and look at that, John.
Is that
hold on. Right, everyone memorize that shot and keep talking, and I'll find it, right?
But I'm also going to throw in,
Go on,
from the 60th, that alien that's in Unit HQ. When I first saw it in that episode in the 60th, I thought, that's very, very weird having that alien up there on the platform. And
Blinks or whatever that was.
Yeah, that's it. And I've got a feeling that's going to play a part in the season as well.
Flinks.
Yeah, they didn't spend the money on that to not use it again,
Exactly.
especially with them already showing us right out the gate that Unit's going to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's a Trojan horse, I think.
Right, you've asked us to remember this shot. Go on then.
Yeah, so I may be wrong, but I was just thinking, where you've got lines like that, is it a similar thing that's coming up on the TARDIS in Unit HQ? But looking again, I think I'm probably wrong on that one.
The thing is, we've got two theories. You've got that theory, which you might as well hold, and I thought it might be the Captain Jack assessing the DNA. So we've got two theories there. You're getting good theories here, everybody watching. So I'll take us back to that shot with the TARDIS, because I had a theory. I'm running out of theories now, but here we go. TARDIS theory number 75. Here we go. Mind you, the laser effect, unfortunately, with the light makes me think of the either the Eiffel Tower or Blackpool Tower. That's all I can see there. It's a bit unfortunate for me.
Yeah, I can't unsee it now.
So, as a lot of decent fans have done, they've sharpened their eye on their left. So here we go. And they've gone to that sign at the back, a Union Jack icon, magazine, upper left corner, S Triad technology announcement. The world will be hers. Now, shall we use our English again? S Triad is an anagram of TARDIS.
Yeah.
And so TARDIS technology announcement, the world will be hers. Oh my God. You see, this is it. There is a Time Lord or something going on here. Is the Rani coming back? Is Missy coming back? Because the ring that was picked up in the giggle
Yeah.
is going to be picked up for a reason. So is the Master Missy coming back? But since it says her, or is this Jinx Monsoon, of course? Because
Is she a
we don't
Time
know
Lord?
Well, I hope not, but
Yeah. Same.
so
But we might have that, and we might have a Time Lord in the season as well. So, you know, they could be linked. He could be staging it throughout the season. Which episode is this one, by the way? Is this the?
it I
I think is this one? I think you had a screenshot there earlier. I think was it number 5 where
Copycat.
he's got the black jacket on and they're in unit and that little Lenny Rush guy. Is
yeah,
there.
Lenny.
I think
Lenny.
is that
So
one,
that-
the Ewan Bernard episode or
Yeah,
whatever.
So
I
that's
think it's
probably the first of a 2-parter then,
The
potentially.
Rani.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel calls
be
out
cool with
the
that too.
Rani. Yeah. So
It's always the easy answer to go to answer.
I'm
isn't it?
loving this. I'm watching Timescale's face. He's watching and listening and thinking.
This is fascinating. You know, it's amazing how much fans can just put things together. You know, I'm wondering how in the world you guys know this is from the 5th episode. I mean, come on. But if
I
you
was
do,
thinking the same.
right,
You know that
it's
myself.
amazing.
We
Actually.
have our
But if you
sources
do
over
compare,
here.
well, since Shooty's doctor is apparently changing clothes a lot now, that
Yes.
does make it easier to detect which episodes these shots are from.
I think that's the point we're at now, though, isn't it? That we can. I think now, although we haven't seen it yet, we are getting to that point where we are spotting things. So when we watch the episodes, when we eventually do watch them, we'll go, so that's what that was.
Yeah.
Like I remember when we watched the Christmas one. There's a scene where he's got his clothes on. He's closed the door and he has like a little bounce in his step as he walks to the door, and Sonic's a screwdriver. Now, of course, when you watch that, it's that scene. You know, it's now I think we're starting to recognise. Okay, he's got the black jacket on with the white t-shirt and the jeans. This is the one where he's riding on the motorcycle with Bonnie. You know,
Yeah.
certain things like that. Oh, that's the Regency episode. You see him in the spaceship there, getting what looks to be scanned. Maybe that's the Jonathan Groff character saying, "Who are you?" You know, they're trying to suss each other out. Maybe, you know, we're starting. I think that's it. You know, you can slightly piece of it. Oh, that's this one. Oh, that's that one. Or you can join the very loose dots that there is.
Yeah.
We're starting to get there now with a little drippets of information.
All I don't want.
Do Star Wars fans analyze trailers this much, or is it just us?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we're a
they
rare
do.
breed.
They do. Most crazy fans break down on trailers like this. Yeah.
What sleep? I mean, so that shot there, by the way, since you've been mentioning unit and everything, and whether this is episode 5 or a couple of them, if you can see, I tried to lighten it up. Lenny Rush is in the foreground. He's in that kind of strange wheelchair thing. You've got behind him Rose Noble, Kate Stewart, and the Doctor in a leather jacket. So basically, this looks like unit, doesn't it?
And Ruby stood behind the Doctor. It's a bit hard to see on there, but if you watch it, you can just about see her behind him. He's just covering her in that shot.
That TARDIS. How about the 14th Doctor's TARDIS has been taken by someone?
Ooh, that could cause a lot of chaos.
Yeah,
and maybe he's been taken as well. So there you go. I'm going right off the reservation now, aren't I?
Yeah, because I mean, we know for a fact the Tennant's going to be mentioned, even if it wasn't the hologram. He's going to be mentioned like in a throwaway line.
Cinnamon, question.
You know, if Rose is going to meet the Doctor here, you know, at one point or another, he's going to ask, "Oh, how's Donna? How's the family? Or how's my other self?" Or maybe she will instigate the conversation. Maybe she will like, "Oh, your other self's kicking up a fuss or something." Oh, he's run off.
And
that's what that's
probably it, because you know what is that other TARDIS doing? That can't be shooting.
And you telling me that
there's got to be
and you're telling me that the 14th Doctor, you know, if the world's collapsing, he's not going to turn up.
Right. That's my question. What are the odds?
My point, that's what I've been saying all along. Is he just going to sit there in his back garden sipping tea?
Yeah.
While you know the world's ending. You know, you could. Oh yeah, well we'll shoot you. We'll deal with it. My next Doctor, then my future self will deal with it. Well, you know, help him out.
Well, hiya PD, because he's just popping in. PD, you've missed 72 theories, 4 Easter eggs. I mean, so apart from that, you're on the money. So that's that episode there, yes. But I'm just gonna go. Oh, Rose Noble's back. Yeah,
Mm.
because she's more than me, so she might solve everything. So that's a bit disappointing. Of course, we saw that, and you said at the very beginning, John, before PD heard you, that you said you didn't like the crash landing of the TARDIS. I agreed with you, and I hated this coming all the way down the unit. I mean, you can see how they've designed the unit headquarters. It's a dance floor for the toy maker. It's a skidding floor for the TARDIS. It's kind of just going to be a stunt track.
The Doctor would never let
I
it
literally
happen.
said it. It's like the Doctor rolling up in a. It's like he's turning up in a Rolls Royce, coming up the driveway, skidding it about.
Yeah, and you're telling me that the Doctor would allow, and this is me loving Doctor Who, the Doctor would allow the TARDIS to smash through like that when there's loads of people in there. No, he wouldn't.
It's a damn good landing, though. He goes right through
the an excellent pilot.
Yeah, I can't even reverse my car.
This is a crazy thought I had watching Classic Who about
Wiped
just that sort
everyone
of
out.
stuff.
Wiped
John
everyone
is like I was thinking when he programs himself to land, like say somebody's going to be standing where he's going to land, right? But I just had this stupid thought, like I bet when he programs the thing to land, he can see where people are going to be at the time period that he lands and not where it is at that moment. I know that sounds odd, but yeah, maybe he can see that there's nobody standing there. But I get your side of it though too, John.
Yeah. I mean, so.
Well, he has got that big scanner in the TARDIS, doesn't he? The TARDIS usually have scanners. He's got a big one.
It's a very good scanner because it can measure Donna's arm. It's really good.
To the micron. What's the odd? That's what I was gonna say, guys. What's the odds? I mean, it's got to be like 100%. We're gonna see David Tennant in this season, some form or fashion, like speaking, not just a picture of him. Like I feel like we're gonna see him.
It's possible because he could have easily filmed for some of these episodes when doing specials with Catherine Tate.
But now the other theory you guys have of somebody stealing his TARDIS may mean because they are going to have to come up. It's like with the Avengers when they did the thing where Captain America went back and lived through the whole time, and they're like, so he just sat back and didn't get involved in things. So like they have to explain somehow how David Tennant's just going to sit back. So maybe he gets kidnapped too, or he gets taken off the board in some form or fashion.
But you're also...
I just hope it's not a massive focus on it, though, because I just worry about that they're going to make him, like, again, I just feel like it's upstage and shooty a little bit. Like, this is his time now.
Probably.
I love Tennant. He was my Doctor. And it's like, I just think if they're having such a big focus on him, seeing him in the episode there with his hologram, if that is his second TARDIS, I just feel like, obviously we're still yet to see it, of course. I just think we keep delving it, Tennant's back again, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I still think, though, that with Disney stepping in and being involved in it now, you're telling me that someone at Disney hasn't said, look, we need content, and they call it content now, which I hate.
Me too.
Yeah, we want content throughout the year now. So when the main primary Doctor Who series isn't on, we want spin-off series. So I wouldn't be surprised if they said, we actually want a Doctor and Donna series or a mini series. We want a unit series, even if it's a few episodes. I wouldn't be surprised by that because, they need to make sure that their Disney app, which I think is struggling at the moment, works. So,
they're going to beat a dead horse. You better believe Disney they'll strip mine that sucker.
So we've got PD here. I had a feeling this entire new era was going to be an alternative reality. PD, we've gone over, I think it is about 5 theories, and we've talked through it. And yes, we totally agree with you. We do. So I've got one more theory, lads. What about this one? When you see this, either it's Ravaged Earth, the alternative line and all the rest of it. See you, Rachel. I can see your message. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Rachel.
See you.
Bye, Rachel.
The snowflakes thing, and it's not about Generation Z. No, sorry.
My mouth hurts so bad, but
nuclear winter, isn't it?
Yeah, look at the planets. Now, whether this is fluxy, but a lot of people have been talking about, and yes, there's our lovely Easter egg, June Hudson. I'll come back to her in a minute. But the snowflakes, has time been ripped apart? Are these ashes? Are these something that's been caused that has to be rectified? I don't know. I feel as though this is all flux. I just think.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I mean, they look
Agree with you,
those
Brendan.
2 planets there. I mean, they look almost identical. There's look like smoke coming off them. That planet looked absolutely ravaged. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if, like, look at that. Like, there's gas everywhere. Maybe they're just 2
Yeah.
identical planets. I don't know. Androzani Minor and Major. I don't know, but like, not that I'm saying to them, but you
Good
just
point.
think,
Good example.
it,
Could be
it's
nuclear
possible. And
fallout.
there's planets out there that are absolutely like decimated. And
Or
maybe this is a consequence of that. Maybe they're going to delve into that.
or if you look at it, that's a black planet in the background. Is it sucking stuff off of the other planet? Because you look at the dust going towards.
Yeah, like
black
siphoning it
planet.
off.
I see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, so there you go. I think we're definitely doing Flux. We've definitely got the multiverse. We've definitely got an alternative reality. I think Jodie Whittaker's going to appear. I think some other doctors may appear. Definitely David Tennant in some form or a spin-off, as we've said. And so, as PD's saying, nice things about alternative realities is they're really easy to ignore. PD, we've actually, well, I've said, I can't put words in other people's mouths. I actually said this might explain an awful lot of things. It was brought up that this might explain the Davros being different, but actually it might solve the thing that after 2 or 3 seasons, she solved the butterfly effect and we're back to Davros in a wheelchair. So actually, yeah, but it might be PD also enjoyable to watch because I could cope with that logic. I really could. So there's June Hudson. Everybody aware of June Hudson?
I have no idea
she
who
was
that is,
Jim
sir.
Stein.
Oh,
Not
I
sure.
I think most of us would say it's season, let me get it right, season 18, The Leisure
Yep.
Hive. She redesigned Tom Baker's outfit into that lovely burgundy one.
I always liked that one.
Yeah, the Argolans with the headdress and everything. She designed. She basically JNT got her in from season 18 onwards, and you know she does the fan circuit now. She's on a lot of the extras on the Blu-rays, and she is in the trailer.
Good for her. That's awesome.
So
Nice to
that's
be
a
on
nice.
nice to be in front of the screen than behind it.
No kidding.
Yeah, no doubt. That's cool.
That's pretty cool. That's neat.
I mean, it's just a nice, you know. She's
No,
been,
that's like a nice positive. Oh, cool. Well, they can do some humanitarian things, can't they? Other than destroy our fandoms and stuff. You know? But that is nice. That's like a good vibe sort of thing.
Yeah, that pleased me just as a little thing. If you don't know her, you don't know her, but actually those who do know, it is like an Easter egg, isn't it? You go, I mean, they're gonna kill her. Looks like.
Probably. Well, you think this is something that's really dawned on me, especially after going back and watching Classic Who, is like Doctor Who's has an ungodly body count. If you think about it, of just like off camera or just like, you know, one and done characters. Like, it's just like for a thing that Mary Whitehouse freaked out over the Doctor getting drowned. It's like, what about the 5,000 like bit characters that you guys have killed off, stabbed, shot, and all this stuff, man? It just, I always think it's like, I always tell my wife that it's like, it just has such, you would not think that Doctor Who has the body count that it does.
If you think there's a lot of killing in Doctor Who, you should check out the Dalek annuals.
As well.
Check out the Dalek annuals. They have a lot of killing going on.
Okay.
I love the Dalek annuals. Oh, bring them back. Me and Jamie were watching Planet of Evil the last few days, and you know, a good old 1976 story, and the amount of deaths in that, and that wouldn't happen now. And when we talk about, do you know what I'm going to press next? Has everyone gone to this? When we mention
Stop making me laugh, my mouth hurts.
When we mention tomorrow night at 7 p.m, everybody, we're having a hell of a debate tomorrow night. The Disney effect, the American effect, or is this just the new world? The death count seems to have gone down in Doctor Who, believe it or not. Everybody comes back to life again, and everybody has a happy ending. It's like, oh, that's more Disney. That's not an American thing. It's the Disney thing.
Everybody lives.
Yeah. So I've got here, there was a moment in the trailer where Carla, her foster mum, Ruby's, I'm still her mum. I need to know she'll be okay. You'll keep her safe. And then he gives her the classic line. I never thought the Doctor did do this type of thing, but I will keep her safe.
That's a straight up lie.
Yeah, she's going to die.
You shouldn't be promising. Well, you should know by now not to make promises like this, Doctor. How many times have you promised?
He knows better.
That never happens. You promised,
the Ninth Doctor didn't.
Rory's dad that you'd be safe. That didn't happen. Well,
Yeah.
And this is the
I mean,
same
in
doctor
fairness, the
when
ninth
asked.
Doctor got it right. At least the ninth Doctor was able to say, "I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I can," when he was on the
Yeah.
phone with Jackie.
And this is the same
Like, come
doctor
on,
when
you
asked,
should know
"Is
by
the
now. That's
TARDIS
it.
safe?" He said, "I don't know."
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I,
You can't
I,
guarantee it.
but I really do feel as I'm onto the RTD seeds now, and you only write a line like that, like the TARDIS line, because it's
Nice
going to
top,
have a
though.
payoff.
Nice top.
Oh, I can't keep up with all his differences. I tell you, it's just
I mean, this is a
I mean,
shooty
he could have
jumper.
beat out
that he
Pertwee
had
for different outfits.
in one of
Did you
the
notice
episodes.
the yellow sonic screwdriver, a different version, as in a different color?
Oh,
No.
maybe
Because
it
it's
changes
blue, isn't
colors.
it? The original was
Another
a
one.
blue one, wasn't it? Yeah. So
Oh, so it's
that's
a different color. Oh, that's fine, because they did say that, didn't they, about
yeah.
a different Sonic? I thought, an entirely brand new one. Like, can we not make it easier for these character options to release these stuff? But if it's a slightly different color variant, then it's still.
So
the same
basically,
design.
what we've
Plug
got
in those
here,
products, BBC.
yeah. So we've got a new Doctor who basically, like an Action Man or a Ken doll, can be dressed in lots of different outfits, and he's even got different coloured sonic screwdrivers for his mood. There you go. It's like a mood board for Doctor Who.
Crimplin's
So-
made a good point. Yeah.
Yes, he has. By changing history, might Verada Sethu be playing Ruby, the same character with a suddenly different face? Well, it worked obviously with Isaac Newton suddenly looked different racially. So yes, it's all possible. A bit similar to Hamish Wilson playing Jamie. It's a thought. It is a thought, and it's happened in Doctor Who before. So if it's happened in Doctor Who before, RTD is aware of it. I think we agree, and that's all possible. All bets are off.
Well, look,
He-
somebody
I-
said to him, "I don't like that yellow sonic screwdriver," and he's flipping them off in the picture.
You know, I was. So I'm not the only one that saw that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say
You don't go,
anything.
yeah, well.
Brendan, don't flip this picture upside down.
No,
There's a different shirt.
Now this is the classic moment when you think, right, we're going fantasy, we're going horror, which I approve of. I hope we do a lot more. So you had the massive
Oh, it's my
moment. Yeah, don't be silly. There's no such thing as monsters. It's just creatures you haven't met yet. And then, well, maybe not. And then you get this gruesome beastie. So we've got monsters in Doctor Who. They're coming back. I approve of creeping down dark corridors. I'm all up for that. The humor I'm fine with, the butterfly humor and this one. And then here we go. This might be interesting. I'm not going to say much here. I'm going to just show you the pictures and whether you think, are we watching a pantomime? Does this work? As in, I don't want to judge Jinx Monsoon too much. I know she's a drag queen, and I'm just wondering why you pick a drag queen into Doctor Who, unless to play up something. So anyway, you've got the Devil's Cord there, and I have to say, and when I first saw this costume, I did think it was extremely pantomimey. This is when J&T got bad, I thought sometimes, and it just went too literal. And so the piano keyboard on the it's a bit like they
Doctor outfit kind of territory.
Yes,
isn't it?
Yeah, the question mark. It's a bit like that, isn't it? And of course, this is the moment I think he sees her. It's the same shot, I think.
Oh
Except,
yeah, it's got to be.
Don't you think?
Please,
I think.
Please don't
I'd
be
be
the
surprised
master.
if it wasn't.
Please don't be the master, and please don't be the Omega. That's all I want. Okay.
Oh God, that would be even
What
worse.
is that
Man. They brought back
from
Omega,
animation?
and oh,
It's a
I'd be
British
so
animation
pissed.
thing. I can't remember the character. It's like some kid's like 13. It's like animation, and it's like it looks like that. I can't remember the name. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
But is that another? Is that the other TARDIS in the background?
Exactly. I'll do it again, folks. That's
Oh,
obviously a TARDIS. That's obviously a TARDIS. Then I do this. That looks like a TARDIS too, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, it does. And so yeah, it's fitting more as a Time Lordy thing. But the arch, I hate to. I hope I'm not right on this, but the arch does remind me of kind of Omega's TARDIS Arc of Infinity. You know, the entrance to it.
Yeah.
It's got that
Good
It's
Well,
got that.
Crimpline's onto it. Inspector Morse, yeah. Terrible Zodin.
Yeah, yeah,
It's been mentioned.
yeah.
The Music Guardian.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Guardian
There
of
they are.
Tunes.
Now that was mentioned that we've got a kind of
Little black guardian, white guardian.
It's their
Yeah.
cousin, yeah.
to be wrapped up in musical chords. My God, I never thought I'd see that. So
Now-
yes,
But this makes me think it's some Jinx Monsoonies are being more than a Time Lord, which makes me worry about Omega, because Omega can bend reality to his will,
Yeah.
and all of this is, musical keys and that wrapping her up in it. It kind of strikes me as his will.
He
are
was
they in the same
basically
place?
God of his universe and could
Yeah.
do whatever,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
like,
yeah,
it's
easily.
supernatural. It's supernatural. It's like godlike. It's a bit like
Yeah.
the Toy Maker.
And I
too.
thought that
Toy
was an
Maker is a
adipose.
supernatural god kind of like being as well. So this is probably I wouldn't be surprised if this is like another one of like not the Toy Maker's people. I don't think it's a race, but a certain person like the Toy Maker, someone who can.
Mm.
Yeah. See, I like all of this.
Stay around things. I thought that was an Adipo at first. I'm not gonna
Yes.
lie. I thought,
surely it's Ringo Starr.
Yeah. Well,
Because
yeah.
I do think, because this is the Beatles episode, isn't it? So basically,
Yep.
that's Ringo Starr, surely, because we get the Abbey Road Studios.
That's a recording studio, yeah.
Yeah, that's a recording studio, and
Abbey Road.
well, actually, when you watch the trailer, it's a bit feel good because they're all dancing and indoors in rain.
it's very Glee-like.
It's a showpiece, but right, lads,
Is this a
is
musical one?
this looking like a musical extravaganza as we've all been mooting? Because
Yeah, it's Glee. It's High School Musical
With the
isn't
notes
it?
as
It's
well.
a bit,
Yeah.
because
a bit like The Greatest Showman.
A
Yeah.
somber tone fell over the scent sphere after Brendan revealed that.
This is one of my frustrations, and it seems to be every writer that has ever seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer thinks that's the way you do it,
Mhm.
and it's not. And it's Doctor Who shouldn't have a musical, in my opinion. Yes, there's been a few bits in the past where there's been musical bits in it for a short period, but no, just don't.
Well, and they dropped that thing in the special about I for some reason the exact wording escapes me, but when the Toy Maker says that about how he's been messing with time, and other people talked about what was like some higher power or somebody that they were working for. I don't know if the Meep was working for the Toy Maker or referring to somebody different, but so there's somebody behind the scenes. Maybe it's Jinx or somebody we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
here's another one, Crimpoline. There were doors similar to those, let me get it back up. Let's just get this right, because John was thinking Arc of Infinity. There were doors similar to those, like a TARDIS, in the island scenes in Ascension of the Cybermen, the Timeless Children. Crimplin, you are not advising RTD to go back there, are you? Please don't. That's bad. You've made that on a put. What did the Great Healer RTD say? Sorry, the Great Healer proper Davros say? Don't say these things on an open platform. He'll pick it up. But yes, it could be something like that.
I don't think that Jinx will be this high, the big boss in charge if she's only in the second episode, unless she comes back or something. But maybe this hooded figure, this hooded person might be that person who's in charge of everything, the legions, her legions or whatever, her world or something.
Yeah, I can't remember the wording myself.
I think Cinnamon's right, actually, and I've got a feeling that we might find, similar to how he did Bad Wolf in the Ninth Doctor's run, each episode sort of teasing it. We'll get a little link at the end of each episode about the big bad. Does everyone think that'll be the case?
Mystery box, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and this looks like it's from the same episode because of the costumes, and it looks as though this links with the Armageddon of Britain. But this links, and I will find the shot in a moment, as I promised John about 5 hours ago.
Oh wait,
when
we have Iris Wild times TARDIS. I just noticed that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, good call.
There we go.
Yeah.
So Katie Manning's back.
Yeah.
There you
That would
go.
be awesome.
Oh,
wouldn't
that
it?
would be great.
Can you imagine having Katie Manning back in
Oh,
Doctor Who?
Oh,
I
yeah.
want that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it a certain jewel thief from a 10th Doctor era stories?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Michelle
Lady,
Ryan.
whatever her name was. Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle Ryan.
Yeah.
The Bionic Woman.
Yeah, that's it.
So look at this lady here. I tell you what, if she had red hair, I'd say it was Donna Noble when she was young. So I looked at that, and
Yep.
you know, you look at the left there, and of course it must be that, mustn't it?
Yeah.
So those, we've all seen the location shots of these, haven't we? When people seem to just get sucked into them. But I just look at that woman's face, and I just look on that shot there. So this is in the trailer. They're giving us a little hint of that. I think God knows what that is.
That's
Well, if
from
you think
Star Wars on Tatooine, I think.
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the Sarlacc.
Yeah.
This is a multiversal story, guys.
Yeah.
It's all possible. So we've got. Yeah, can you see? There was an earlier trailer where he was stood on a green thing, but that's a landmine, isn't it? That is a landmine. And it looks all very dusty. You know, you mentioned the pit, and I will show the pit in a minute, which that looks as though it's the Devil's Cord episode to me. A lot of, you know what RTD does? The season trailer, the big one, normally only really signals about 3 of the episodes. And I think a lot of this is Devil's Cord. I really do. It just has the same kind of colouring and everything. When we've got the Bridgerton episode, the Regency one, which she references there, I mean, I know I'm trying to hedge my bets on one of them, but there's the bird-like strange creatures we were talking about. And then that's just before their change. I thought, in the moment, the way they were stood, I thought, oh my God, they're like the Slovene.
Mhm.
And then there's this. I've got some mystery shots here. I haven't got a clue what's going on. It seems to link to this. So does that look as though we're in a recording studio or something a bit more intense?
Maybe it's a big machine, like a big time machine or reality. I don't know, a hologram projector or something. It could be
That
anything.
looks,
I think
looks-
that's on the space station that
Ooh.
you see in that first shot.
yeah. It looks a bit Close Encounters, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it obviously does something. And whether that's
It's
snowflakes
obviously-
again.
Yeah, that snowflakes are ash.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the faces you were talking about.
Yeah. So I do think it's multiverse, yeah.
Or is that when she's supposed to be older, you know, add another 5-6 years on and she's just a bit more set? I don't know.
Kind of, yeah. She's
Yeah.
kind of like sophisticated there, isn't she? With the champagne
Yeah.
glass or whatever that is. You know, it seemed like there's, you know, it's quite stark differences, isn't it, between those two pictures? She looks quite despondent a little bit, kind of like she's just woken up in the picture on the left, and then I don't know, yeah. And they made quite a point about that in the actual trailer, where it's like 3 of the pictures. There's her in obviously near the cliffs, it seems, and then there's that one on the left, and then there's one on the right. So it's again, you know, is this like 3 different Millies? Are they really going to go down the multiverse? I really don't hope they don't, because it is boring.
It
It's
looks like
way
they're
too
going out of
overdone
their
in
way.
modern day. 2024 is everywhere.
And the trouble
Yeah,
with
they made
multiverse,
quite
have
quite a.
consequences
Hey,
too.
Cinnamon, it warms my heart to hear a young person say that, brother.
I mean,
Oh,
and
tell me
look,
about it.
the trailer in the end, you get some interesting shots with Shooty, who does look very charismatic and energetic and full of vitality. I have a problem with the accent. I'm not too sure about the accent thing, and it is put on a bit. He doesn't talk like that normally.
That's
But
why I was like, why is he talking the way he's talking? It kind of, not because it's an English accent, obviously, or I wouldn't like Doctor Who at all. But it's just like his voice, the way his voice kind of grated on me a little bit.
yeah, I think to me, it felt as though, I know he's a Rwandan Scot, but it sounds to me as though we're going much more global, and this is part of the point. It's just that Doctor Who, I'll only do it one more time, I promise. Tomorrow night, when we discuss Doctor Who and we debate it, has Doctor Who become more American than British? You know, has it? And has it lost some of the essence, the accents, the lot? Now, just before we go, does
I see
anybody...
people talk about the accent. It's never bothered me though.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with it. You know, it's just how he sounds. I can't help how he sounds. I've always quite liked it.
We'll get used to it, I'm
But
sure.
There's a bit put on. There's a bit of pimping put on, though, isn't there? Really.
Yeah. So that image there.
Well, I suppose maybe that just comes with the whole "give me a loving," you know, this whole babes and all. It's like this sort of upbeat kind of character, you know.
Yeah.
Perhaps I think it's more. I think it's more what he says and how he says.
Yeah, he's definitely supposed to be more
he's kind of
charismatic.
like-
You got a point.
Go
You know,
on,
the young
John.
and the hip, you know. I think it's what he says. I think people have a problem with all the babes and the hood. I think that's rubbing a few perhaps classic fans the wrong way. Like hearing the Doctor kind of say all this lingo, it's a bit like it's very emotional kind of language, isn't it? Like babes and honey and, you know, sweets and sweetener or whatever. I like sweets or whatever he's going to say.
Well, it'd be
next.
like Patrick Troughton going around saying groovy, you know, or something, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a bit like your dinner lady, isn't it? It's a bit like your dinner lady at school and like, oh, I don't any more with that pet or chicken, you know.
Right.
Thinking, what, chicken? Yeah.
So, go on, John. You had a theory on this, did you?
No, I mean, I'm just looking at that image, and obviously, I'm not a nuclear specialist, but is that somebody about to set off a nuclear device or a catastrophic incident's about to happen, which links into that shot you see with them stood in a destroyed London? I'm probably wrong, but you know, whether that links into it, I don't know.
I know what you mean, because the pit that we said, is it the Satan pit? I thought did look very Devil's Court episode. Everything was, and I tried to get the shot. Everything's sucked into it. This seems to be, when I was trying to capture this, I mean, it looks quite nice, but it seems to be drilling into some liquid or something. It's very strange.
It's almost like a nuclear fission type thing.
I was wondering what this was. It kind of confused. What is that?
Yeah.
So the theme of the trailer, and I know you mentioned it last night, Timescales, was David Bowie. Changes.
Oh yeah,
You got to bring that up. You know,
right.
they got some Disney money in there.
I liked the music, and you know, when that music came on, that particular song by David Bowie or covered by David Bowie, I need to check that. That was a song where I've heard it 1,000 times and didn't know who it was by. And I think that it was a really good choice, and I think it worked really well with the trailer.
Yeah, I was just looking at some of the lyrics. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
You can't go wrong with some Ziggy Stardust. I mean, I love David Bowie, so I was glad to hear that, and I like you know, I like Bowie, the Who, the Beatles, all the British kind of invasion and after and all that. So I was excited. You know, the first thing I thought though was Disney money, you know, because they already hitting the Beatles and then they're licensing David Bowie, so they definitely tap some monetary extras.
That's very true. They wouldn't dare. I mean, what was it they said with the season 2 Blu-ray, and they said they wouldn't be able to show the Beatles music in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks as though we're now confident and we can now go for it.
Yeah.
Well, we are all going now, but has anybody failed to mention a theory that they had or a little idea they had? Was there anything left out? Have we exploited
I think we're all
now?
theoried out, aren't we?
The best thing is always to end the program before I come up with another theory. I mean, that would be really scary. I mean,
leave them wanting more.
There you go. I did promise it, John. Here we go. Oh no, that's not it. Sorry, I thought I saw the Satan pit one, so I apologize. I have got it somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Right, lads, you've given me 90 minutes plus. Thank you, everybody in the thread who's joined in with all our mad theories. I won't put the slide up for tomorrow, but Sunday, 7 p.m, we will be looking at America versus Britain in who's had the biggest impact on current Doctor Who. Please join us. We're all here again with a few extras and obviously anything on the latest news. But thanks in America. Have a good rest of the day where you've got more left. And we Brits will try and get some stuff started now. But Cinnamon, I'm sorry, I just want to be polite here because Timescales, do you want to just advertise yourself as well?
Oh, sure. I have a YouTube channel It is the timescales, and I like to interview people in arts and performing arts. And there's going to be a new interview coming out, I believe, tomorrow or the next day, with a brand new Big Finish author. Well, not brand new, but a Big Finish author for a box set, which is coming out next
great.
Wednesday or Thursday, I believe. So
Sweet.
check that out.
Yeah.
There's over 50 interviews so far, and
Yeah.
hopefully you'll find something you'll enjoy.
Nice.
Cool. Brandon, do you want to just call yourself out
Oh
again?
no, well, Scales. I'll make sure and share that too for sure, man. When you drop that, hit me up. Let me know. I don't know if we follow each other on X. We probably do. If not,
I think so. I checked that after the last show, and I'm also going to try to tune into your YouTube stream later.
Oh,
today.
okay, cool, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, check us later. You can find my channel on YouTube at Culture Papa. We're gonna, me and some of the guys on the Culture Council, Tuna and Joe, we're meeting up to watch the first 2 episodes of X-Men '97, and then we're gonna review it. And then after we talk about it, we'll do our usual talking about pop culture news and all that junk. And we've got a guest on there, like a metalhead named Thrash Potato is going to be on there. He's got a YouTube channel, so it'll be really cool. So yeah, check us out.
Great. It'd be interesting to see your X-Men '97 review, actually.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's been very hard to not watch it yet, but then I saw a joke on Twitter that said real ones wait till Saturday or something like we did back in the 90s. I was like, okay, that made me feel a little better because I could spout that BS for 3 days, you know. But yeah, come check us out, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Cinnamon, you well, you're going to do a stream in a moment, so you might as well give it a shout out.
Yeah, what's your channel, Cinnamon?
Yeah, in about, was it about 24 minutes? About roughly 25 minutes. I'm going to be on my channel and basically to do all this again. I'm going to be cream crackered. You know, it's more speculation. God, let's try and see if I can find something new to say. But yeah, you can find me on that channel, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Does it say in there? And well, it won't be a live. It'll be a crew record. Because I put a lot of work into this one, I think. So I like to think, you know, I want to try and keep it a nice video that I can maybe look back on. So I'll probably do that, record it. I am a bit time constrained because there is a match tonight, both for Ireland and England. So Noel and I are pretty under time.
Yeah, I'm talking about soccer.
Football. The thing that it's round, so it's a ball, and you kick it with your foot, not hand egg ball. Sorry, American.
I don't even like American football though, so we're cool. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'll go sub soon.
Charlotte Hornets.
Oh yeah, me too, man. Yeah, I'm a big NBA fan myself. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll go sub for sure soon, and make sure to share too. That's awesome.
So cool. So it's all happening. There's so many streams going on. And yes, I'm going to lie down first, and then I might join some of them later. Gosh, right. There we go. I think I'm seeing all of you tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I'll be on.
Yep.
The
I'll
debate,
be there.
I haven't marketed much at all. Right. Okay. Have a good day, everyone. And thank you for coming on. And thanks for everybody joining us and contributing. See you later, everyone.
See you later, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.